a pamphlet. All of these are publications, right? So, going over the 7 steps, we have step 1, which is research and outline. I went over step 1 Friday night. Step 2 and step 3, you're not reading it wrong. Both of these are about your draft. Step 2 is starting your draft. Step 3 is finishing your draft. These are very important steps. The writing process, to me, is the most important part of a publication process, especially if you are looking to publish your own original ideas. You have to make sure that you give yourself enough time to get your ideas down and drafted. Step 4 is to self-edit with AI tools. I'm checking the stream here. Okay, it's still working. Okay, good. Is to self-edit with AI tools. This is where, we get really close to our work and sometimes we have a hard time reading and comprehending where the grammatical errors are or where we might want to change wording around. Step 4 is where we get help from AI tools to do that and make editing suggestions for us. Step 5 is a 2-part process. First part is to send your draft off to others for editing. That could be a professional editing service, or if you have a trusted team of beta readers, you can send your draft off to your beta readers for them to review and give suggestions on improvements. That's the first part. The second part of step 5 is to begin the formatting, designing, and layout process for your book. Step 5 bleeds into step 6, which is designing your book cover. And then step 7, which is the most exciting part, is to publish your book, your publication, your journal, your audiobook, your ebook. That is the Book Doula writing process. All of these steps have AI tools that can help speed the process for you. And there are also AI tools that you can use that will make sure that you keep your intellectual property or that your idea does not feed the machine behind the AI. Okay. While I was having my technical difficulties, I could get that to work, and so I did. Hey, 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 it is Sunday, and I better turn this off. I checked everything though. I'm really, really glad I checked everything while the steps were being talked about. Hey, Mama, how are you? I'm trying to make sure that this isn't making noise, but let's get to it. It is Sunday. It is Sunday brunch yet again. I'm Julie. I'm here as the Social Work Expat. If you have been here before, welcome. If this is your first time with me for a Sunday virtual brunch, hopefully you will say you're in for a treat. Otherwise, you can always click away, and that is okay. I have a little bit of fun on Sunday with brunch, and I will get started so that we can revisit the Faceless YouTube. As I said, I got an idea earlier today and have been working on that, so I'm probably going to have to play a commercial at some point so that I can get the Faceless YouTube channel steps up on the screen. But I'll do my intro and then I'll tell a little story. So I'm here as Social Work Expat. What do? I am a social worker by education and profession. I do not work in the field of social work anymore directly because I could not afford to feed my family and support my family on what I was making as a social worker. But I very much believe in the values and tenets of social work, and I am a social worker down to my core. But I also feel like I need money to pay for things and help people. So that is why I am a social work expat. I am also the only AI certified social worker in the United States, possibly the world at this point. Um, my, certif- my certification is from the Berkeley Law AI Institute, if you care anything about that. If not, I'm going to talk about what fragrance I have on today. I am running out of fragrances here where I am. So I have on 1 million again. This is the perfume oil version. I'm running out of my travel spray of the real deal. But this one is the perfume oil from Fragrant Body Oils. I like this one very much. It smells great. So there's the fragrance and a craft. I don't have any crafts with me to work on today because I have spent a little while getting ready for today's brunch. And so I don't have a craft ready, but I do have one next to me. Perhaps next week I will be ready to work on a craft. We'll see. Ooh wee! I'm still laughing about the Gemini situation from last week with AI. Um, but let me check the chat. I can't see everybody's chat. I can see my daughter's chat. You're good. I'm glad you're good. Yay. So I start, it's probably going to take another, what, 5 or 10 minutes before I get to the real deal thing because I always ask a question. Who is benefiting from the story you are telling yourself? I ask this just about every Sunday, and then I tell a story. The story today is about my mom. But before I tell the story, I'm going to talk about a quote that came from Tony Robbins. One of his books, I want to say it's Personal Power, which I think was his first book, but in the audiobook version, he said, sometimes we are winning and we think that we are losing because we are not keeping score. And how does this translate to me telling a story about my mom? You'll see. Have you ever played a game with a cheater? And you know they're a cheater and you love them, and that's fine. You just know that perhaps when you play Monopoly with them, they shouldn't be the banker. Or if you play Uno with them, old school house rules Uno with them, that perhaps they shouldn't be the one to shuffle the cards. My mom used to love to win at any cost. And so sometimes when we played Scrabble or Uno, she might add a little bit to her score or forget to add some points to your score. But We knew that when we played games with our mom. We knew that she cheated and we loved her and we played the game anyway. But the question still remains, who is benefiting from the story you are telling yourself? Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, whoever is keeping score is marking you as a loser when you're actually a winner. And sometimes my hope is that you will keep score for yourself in a way that makes you a winner. There, that was faster than usual. That's awesome. So, I started with the 7 steps for the Book Doula writing process, right? I started with that. And I started with that for a reason. Today, I am debuting my first publication that I have used the Book Doula writing system on. And so I am clicking around trying to get to it. I'm clicking around trying to get to it. While I'm clicking around trying to get to it, let me see if I can put the 7 steps up so that I don't have to look at myself twice. There we go. Last weekend, I did a marathon where I went through the 7 steps of the Book Doula writing from idea to publication process. And today, I am going to debut my story. Here it is. I needed to go back because it's going to go super fast. So, the story's title is Sand Angels in the Desert, and I used AI tools for the majority of the work. All of the text is mine. I can't draw. Just gonna say it. Can't do it. Have never been able to do it. I'm not gifted in that way. But the same way that my little sweatshirt here says, there is a genius inside of you and AI can help bring it out. AI can help with the areas that you are not naturally gifted. And this is a first pass at using ChatGPT's DALL-E 3 to get images to go along with my children's book. I am still clicking around because I need the text in front of me. Because I came up with this idea of how to present this morning, I didn't get a chance to do what I wanted to do, which was add voiceover to it, but that's okay. I'll do voiceover next time. Is it this one? It's this folder. Okay. Hold on, I can't see. There's the chat. So the story is called Sand Angels in the Desert. The story is by me. The digital art I have separated out by Jewell Soul. One of the reasons I talk about the reason why I have the AI digital art separated out with my clients who work with me in the Book Doula system. If you are interested in learning more, I am available. Okay, I'm going to let this stay right here for a second and start reading. This is a story about two young girls who are pen pals. This girl is from New Hampshire, a land of snow and ice. And this is what ChatGPT came up with for her. This girl is from Sudan, a land of sun and sand. And this is what ChatGPT came up with. They met after their teachers set up a pen pal program. This is the young lady in New Hampshire's teacher that ChatGPT came up with. And this is the young lady in Sudan's teacher that ChatGPT came up with. Both girls have the same name, Nora. Look, Nora, this girl has your name too. Nora and Nora started writing each other. They had a lot in common. They both have hardworking mamas. This is Nora in New Hampshire's mom, based on what ChatGPT came up with. And this is Nora in Sudan's mom, based on what ChatGPT came up with. They both have very busy papas. This is Nora in New Hampshire's dad, based on what ChatGPT came up with. And this is Nora in Sudan's dad, based on what ChatGPT came up with. And sometimes annoying older brothers. This is Nora in New Hampshire's brother, based on what ChatGPT came up with. And this is Nora in Sudan's brother, based on what ChatGPT came up with. Nora and Nora both have fun with their friends in school. Nora in New Hampshire sent Nora in Sudan a picture of her playing in the snow. She couldn't stop looking at part of the picture. Nora in Sudan asked her teacher, what is it they were doing in the picture? This is the picture that ChatGPT came up with. Oh, that? Nora's teacher replied, they were making snow angels. Snow angels, thought Nora in Sudan. I wonder if I can make sand angels. Nora in Sudan went to ask her mama about making sand angels. Nora's mama looked at her confused. Who ever heard of that? Nora asked her papa about making sand angels. And he said the same thing as her mama. Who ever heard of that? Nora asked her older brother about making sand angels. And he laughed at her and said, who ever heard of that? But Nora knew there had to be a way. So, in her next letter, Nora in Sudan asked Nora in New Hampshire some questions about making snow angels. How do you keep the snow out of your hair? How do you keep the cold from the snow off your body? Aren't your feet cold? What about your hands? How long do snow angels last? Nora in Sudan decided to cover her body and her hair to keep the sand off of her. She then talked her brother into taking her to the golden sand dunes close to her home. She asked her teacher to go with them because she had a camera. She laid back and moved her arms and legs to make a sand angel in the desert. Nora stood up and looked at what she had made. There it was, her very own sand angel in the desert. Nora's teacher took a picture of Nora in Sudan's sand angel for Nora to send to her friend in New Hampshire. This is a picture of the sand angel in the desert that ChatGPT came up with. If there can be angels in the snow, there can be angels in the desert. With some new ideas, help from friends, and a positive attitude, amazing things can happen. And because I'm a social worker, from story to reality, thank you for viewing Sand Angels in the Desert. In the story, Noura from Sudan is from Wadi Halfa, Sudan. According to UNICEF's 2023 Country Office Annual Report on Sudan, almost all of the schools in Sudan have been closed since April 15th, 2023. These school closures have left 19 million children out of school. As of December 2023, 1 out of every 2 children in Sudan are in need of humanitarian assistance. Humanitarian assistance can also come in the form of friendship and being seen. Please consider starting pen pal programs by contacting the existing programs below. I know that Noura in Sudan would love to be friends with your young one. And here are 3 pen pal programs that I was able to find with AI tools. The first one is Girls with Books. All right, this print is too small because I didn't have time to make it bigger. Girls with Books is a nonprofit and NGO that helps serve the education needs of South Sudanese girls. It has a pen pal program. The website is www.girlswithbooks.org. The second pen pal program we have here is Kids for Peace. The Peaceful Pen Pals Project gives participants the opportunity to exchange handwritten letters to connect and unite in kindness, love, acceptance, and compassion. Their website is kidsforpeaceglobal.org. Then the third pen pal program is Students of the World. Since 1995, Students of the World has provided a free and safe, kid-friendly site for kids and students to connect with other cultures. They have strong daily site moderation. Their website is studentsoftheworld.info. That is my first publication using the Book Doula 7 Steps Idea to Publication process. I hope you liked it. Let me know if you liked it, and let me know if you would like for me to go over the steps and tools that I used to create my first publication using the Book Doula system. Isn't she cute? Because now I can see the chat. ChatGPT doesn't understand genetics clearly because if a prompt says East African, you would think that East African meant something different, especially when you add the skin tone into the prompt. But when I say that there is a genius inside of all of us and that AI helps to bring it out, AI helps to bring it out because it's a tool, but it does not do the work for us. It helps us do work, and it helps us do work faster, and sometimes helps us do work that our physical human hands would not be able to do on our own. But if you are seeing this after the fact, Noura in Sudan would love to have your Nora as a pen pal. Almost all of the internet communications in Sudan have been shut down since the civil unrest began on April 15th, 2023. So not only are they out of school, but they don't have access to the internet. However, as much as I love technology, paper and pencil or pen still work. And as far as I know, the mail system is still working in Sudan. Okay, so what's next? We are revisiting Faceless YouTube. One second, let's make sure this is doing what it's supposed to do. And now I have to find the Faceless YouTube steps. I put it somewhere. I looked at it last night. Instead of fumbling around, I'll play the ad. If I can find it. Oh, I know. Hey, Mama, how are you doing? I know that you're still watching, so I'm asking you how you're doing. Okay, we're gonna open this ad. It's opening in the wrong place. Let's see if I can get it to open in the right place. All right, we have that. And this is why when I'm not working on something, I can get all of my little background stuff together and it works so much better.
She's mentioned in the very beginning of my thank you chapter, Julissa Nixon kicked my butt on this book. She was like, girl, you're going to write in 50 days. I want the draft. And I was like, there's no way I can write a book in 50 days. But she's one of those people, if you know her,
yes,
that made it happen. And she offered me a lot of very honest feedback. I think she's a very dynamite woman boss. And this book would not have been written had it not been for her.
Yes, I do know her well, and I'm so glad you mentioned her. I've been following her for a while, and she is such a quiet force, but is so intensely positive and really wants to see you do well. And that you is like anybody who crosses her. Really wants to see you do well. And I know she's doing her own thing in the AI.
She is.
And make sure that we drop her socials in this particular podcast. But we want to shout you out, Julissa, for being a boss, making boss moves in your community. So thank you for that. Another segment that we like to delve.
Hey there, I'm Juli Nixon. With a certification from the Berkeley Law AI Institute, I am the only AI certified social worker in the United States. I am such an eager learner. I have 2 citations from the Connecticut State Legislature to prove it. Oops. I actually have 3 legislative citations and 1 record of testifying before the Connecticut Legislature. I have self-funded my AI adventures and am currently part of an intellectual property for business owners mastermind run by IP attorney Peter Nieves, Esquire. What I have learned so far in the mastermind has helped me consult with my aspiring author clients. I have influenced their responsible use of AI tools, including Claude, to help them retain their IP rights to their work. With 2 current clients in particular, I have saved them about $1,000 each by advising them not to use AI tools advertised to authors that train their LLMs on the author's inputs. Do you want to be the next author I support to success? Email me at the address on the screen. I look forward to talking with you soon.
And
Okay, that's enough of that because I found it. Theoretically, I found it. Let's see it. Here we go. Ah! Start your own Faceless YouTube channel with AI. Back in October, I spent the entire month of October learning about different AI tools that could be used to start your own Faceless YouTube channel. And back in October, I started not one, not two, not three. I started 7 different Faceless YouTube channels using AI tools. Really, only one of them am I interested in, but I'm going to go over the steps again today because I am going to make my fully faceless, as in I'm not advertising it on this channel either, YouTube channel. We'll just go through this little webinar. I already introduced myself. So, if you weren't at the webinar, I'm going to ask, have you used AI and not known it? We have had artificial intelligence, which is an algorithm, it's a computer program. We have had this in our lives for almost over 20 years. I want to say from 1999 on, artificial intelligence in the general public use has been in full force. If you've ever used Netflix, if you've ever used Grammarly to check your usage and grammar of a paper, of an email, of any communication at all, you have used AI. And this is before they started really pushing artificial intelligence. Apple products, Google products, Spotify, some of your traffic lights, parking tickets. If you have a smart meter for your electric consumption on your house, that's powered by AI as well. So AI has been around us for decades and we probably haven't paid any attention to it. So, if you don't know, a faceless YouTube channel does not show the creator's face or identity. And here are the 6 steps to make your own faceless YouTube channel, along with some suggested AI tools that you can use along the way. Step 1 is you need to get an idea and research the market for that idea. I have videos on my channel that show use of Google Trends, not only for a faceless YouTube channel, but if you want to start your own Etsy shop, I have that on there. And I also have a video about using Google Trends for the research step 1 phase of the Book Doula system. Step 2 is name your new channel. The AI resource that I showed during the webinar is called Name Lix, L-I-X. Step 3 is to make a profile picture for your channel. There are many text to image generators that you can use to make a profile picture for your channel. Also, if you have access to one of the paid versions of ChatGPT, because there are now several, you can use ChatGPT to generate images. The resources that I provided on this list are they have free versions, and then they have some paid options as well. The 3 resources that I have here from October Crayon, Starry AI, and Night Cafe all have free versions of text-to-image generators. Step 4 is to get content ideas and make your first script. The resources that I provided for step 4 to make your own faceless YouTube channel are Bard, which doesn't exist anymore. It's called Gemini. ChatGPT, which is still around, and Claude. There are other generative AI chatbots on the market. I have not used those for my personal use. I do know that there are several others. If you have Microsoft on your computer, you have access to Copilot, which is backed by, for now, ChatGPT. So that is also a generative AI chatbot that you can use that is built into software that you may already have on your computer. Then we get to step 5, and you can decide on audio. If you want your faceless YouTube channel to be fully faceless, you can use an AI resource like 11 Labs to generate an artificial voice to narrate your work. And then we have step 6 to start your own faceless YouTube channel. That is getting images and video for your post. Now, this was made in October, and the way that things are changing with generative AI, this list is already slightly outdated. Not because these text to video generators don't exist anymore, but because there are others that are coming onto the market that can do so much more. The resources that I provided on this list were Pictory, Descript, Synthesia, and TubeBuddy. There are so many AI tools that you can use for every single one of these 6 steps, as well as every single one of the 7 steps in the Book Doula process. If that is something that you are interested in, you write all of your papers with Grammarly. So see, you've been using AI probably for years and never thought about it, but you've been using AI. We all have been using AI. It's all around us, and we haven't thought about it. My goal is to get regular people like us to be able to use AI tools to our benefit, as opposed to having AI tools used on us and not to our benefit. So, this is super fast today. I'm not necessarily feeling like I want to go through all the steps of starting your own faceless YouTube channel once again. If you're interested in starting your own faceless YouTube channel, I have an entire month playlist dedicated to going through and slogging through the process of making my own 7 faceless YouTube channels. Please feel free to hop on over and peruse whatever videos you would like. They are there for your reference. If you are interested in maybe making your own children's story and using AI tools, or you want to talk about copyright registration and what that means, if and when you use AI tools, happy to help with that. If you are interested in getting some support to learn how much time do I have to write something? And in that time, what is really feasible for me so that I can become a published author? If that is something you're interested in, please feel free to get in touch with me. I am available and happy to help. That is one of the reasons why I feel like I was such a good field work social worker. And the last plug, because I am researching a book, not just a children's book, but a grown-up book about social work expats. Are you a social worker? Hold on, because I can't see. Let me get closer to the camera. Are you a social worker by education and former profession, but you don't work in traditional social work fields anymore? I would love to talk to you. My compatriot social work expats, I would love to hear about your experience. It can be confidential. I don't use names unless I have been given permission to do so. Please feel free to hit me up. My email is in the description of this video and hopefully every video, and it is also on screen. I look forward to talking with as many social work expats as I can during this social work month of March 2024. I would love to get our story out there. I am still going to look at the camera. I loved and still do love social work. My issue was that I wasn't being paid enough money to support myself and my two children on what I was being paid. There's a joke in the field where they talk about, well, you don't go into social work for the money. That's great if you have a rich mama or papa back there who's propping your life up. But if you don't, we need to work for pay. We can help people with our social work skills and be able to sustain ourselves. I would love to talk with you if you are a social work expat. Even if you're thinking about it, I would love to talk to you. Please feel free to reach out. And that's all I got for today. This is so much faster than I expected. But I'm going to end today the same way I end every brunch. Thank you for taking the ride with me today. This has been fun, like always. And I want to tell you, if nobody else has told you today, you look fabulous. You smell even better. I hope that you are able to listen to words and sounds that are pleasing to your ears and uplifting to your soul, that you are able to eat food that is tasty and nourishing and also settles well in your tummy with people that you care about. I hope that you are able to walk in and through environments this week that are affirming and safe for you. If nobody else has told you, you know that idea that you talked about in the meeting this past week? That was a good idea. You are valuable and you have good ideas. If you feel like you need someone to listen to your ideas in confidentiality and you need a hype person behind you to tell you you can do it, I am available. If you are able to get what you need from other places, even if there are other places, and forces and domains in your life that don't make you feel as valuable as you are, please lean on your resources that value you. Have a wonderful week. I will see you next time. Take care.
She's mentioned in the very beginning of my thank you chapter. Julissa Nixon kicked my butt on this book. She was like, "Girl, you're going to write in 50 days. I want the draft." And I was like, "There's no way I can write a book in 50 days." But she's one of those people, if you know her,
Yes,
that made it happen. And she offered me a lot of very honest feedback. I think she's a very dynamite woman boss, and this book would not have been written had it not been for her.
yes, I do know her well, and I'm so glad you mentioned her. I've been following her for a while, and she is such a quiet force, but one is so intensely positive and really wants to see you do well. And that you is like anybody who crosses her. Really wants to see you do well. And I know she's doing her own thing in the AI.
She is.
And make sure that we drop her socials in this particular podcast. But we want to shout you out, Julissa, for being a boss, making boss moves in your community. So thank you for that. Another segment that we like to delve.
Hey there, I'm Juli Nixon. With a certification from the Berkeley Law AI Institute, I am the only AI certified social worker in the United States. I am such an eager learner. I have 2 citations from the Connecticut State Legislature to prove it. Oops. I actually have 3 legislative citations and 1 record of testifying before the Connecticut Legislature. I have self-funded my AI adventures and am currently part of an intellectual property for business owners mastermind run by IP attorney Peter Nieves, Esquire. What I have learned so far in the mastermind has helped me consult with my aspiring author clients. I have influenced their responsible use of AI tools, including Claude, to help them retain their IP rights to their work. With 2 current clients in particular, I have saved them about $1,000 each by advising them not to use AI tools advertised to authors that train their LLMs on the author's inputs. Do you want to be the next author I support to success? Email me at the address on the screen. I look forward.
Take care.